I'm Jacqueline Langholtz. I'm the manager of school and group programs here at Monticello. We're going to talk about Friedrich Wilhelm Heinrich Alexander von Humboldt. He's a Prussian naturalist. This man climbed mountains and peered into volcanoes. He studied the environmental impacts of man's relationship with nature. You can think of him as Darwin before Darwin. This is a silhouette made by Charles Willson Peale at his famous museum in Philadelphia in 1804 and given to Thomas Jefferson. That's the same year that Jefferson has just purchased 800,000 square miles of land in the Louisiana Purchase. It's the same year that Humboldt is returning to Europe after 5 years spent exploring Latin America and Mexico. And he decides to stop along the way and meet President Thomas Jefferson, who he greatly admires as a scientist and also as a champion of liberty. When he arrives in the United States, Humboldt requests a meeting with Jefferson and wrote praising, quote, "your writings, your actions, and the liberalism of your ideas, which have inspired me from my earliest youth." So imagine this meeting. Humboldt has just returned from exploring Mexico, and Thomas Jefferson, having just made the Louisiana Purchase, wants to pick his brain. Humboldt has brought with him volumes and volumes of notes on things like specimens and topography and land and animals that he will see and rivers and all of this. And Jefferson, of course, has just sent Lewis and Clark and the Corps of Discovery west. These are two men essentially sharing their notes on the world. Jefferson, of course, is the author of Notes on the State of Virginia, and I can only imagine how excited he must have been to talk with Humboldt about Humboldt's extensive travels around the world. You think of Jefferson as someone who, of course, travels throughout Europe and through the mid-Atlantic, but otherwise, how does Jefferson learn about the world? It's primarily through books. Of course, Jefferson, who writes, "The field of knowledge is the common property of all mankind," was probably excited to share some knowledge with Humboldt and vice versa.